Hi everyone, and thanks for joining me back at my Pilates for Horse Riders channel. It's great to see you back here, and we are going to be doing another multitasking session today. This is building on the previous one that we did, just making things that little bit harder, that little bit more complicated, really preparing your body and brain for some of the more complicated tasks that you will be doing with your horses. So we're going to start once again with the walking. I think, although we did this in the last session, this is a really, really good one for getting your brain fully engaged with everything doing something slightly different. So we're going to start thinking shoulders stacked above your headlights, nice long spine and a light head. Make sure you're breathing right into the base of your lungs before you start, and then we're going to start off with your walking, taking diagonal pairs of arms and legs whilst keeping your ropes gently bringing your ribs down towards your pelvis and making sure that you are breathing and trying to think about engaging your pelvic floor lift onto floor 3. And then we're going to go straight into your lunge walking. So one foot in front of the other, same thing as before, but now you've got that slight forwards and backwards movement with your pelvis. And you need to watch that your headlights feel as if they are moving forwards and backwards on a set of tram lines, and we're not getting side to side or twisting as you go. Still thinking of ropes, breathing, and pelvic floor. Then we're going to swap, do the same thing the opposite way. You may well find that one diagonal is easier than the other. Sounds a bit familiar, a bit like being on the horse. So many similarities, so many parallels. So think of your ropes, headlights, pelvic floor, she says, falling over, and your breathing. Okay, we're going to carry on in the lunge theme now, but we're going to make it a little bit more dynamic. So arms across your chest, and you're going to go into a lunge. You can then dip the back knee down a little way, then you're going to turn your shoulders from side to side. So now we're thinking about not just the movement with your upper body, we're thinking about stability with your lower body, and we're also thinking about balance. We've got 3 different things going on here: mobility, stability, and balance. You can challenge yourself by doing your turns in a different sequence. So sometimes you go right then left, sometimes left then right. Always keeping your shoulders level. Remember, we don't want dipping shoulders collapsing down through one side when you're on the horse. So now is the time to practice, and you may well find that you can keep your shoulders more level on one diagonal than you can on the other. That's a good sign. Get a bit weaker around your pelvis on one side, so this is the perfect opportunity to work on it. One more. Okay, so the next one we're going to do is going to be down on your mat. So we're going to do a roll down. It's a really nice way of just opening up through your spine, preparing the body. So hands onto the front of your thighs, chin onto your chest. Slide your hands down, curling up really nice and tight through the whole of your spine. Pausing at the bottom for a breath in, and then breathe out, slide your hands back up, tuck down with your bottom, and uncurl right to the very top of your neck. We can do one more. Chin into your chest, and this time focus on moving every single vertebrae. You want to be really mobile through the whole of your spine. Another breath in. Breathe out, bend your knees down onto your mat. And we're going to start off on your side, and we're going to do an exercise called the side bend. And we're going to do it with adding in a bit of leg work, which makes it a little bit harder. So you want to be in your capital L position, which means straight line from shoulders, hips to knees. Bottom arm propped underneath you. If you do struggle with shoulder problems, you might want to dip out on this one, or you could just do the arm part. So we're going to build up to this. We're going to do the easy version first. Pelvic floor onto floor 3, and then you're simultaneously lifting your top arm as you lift your pelvis off the mat. So this is where, if you've got dodgy shoulder, you can just do the top arm part, you don't have to do the lift. So we're looking for synchronization of pelvis and arm, as well as keeping the pelvic floor active and keeping your breathing nice and regular. Then we're going to add in your top leg. So lift that top leg, just keep it floated there. And now we're going to keep going with that same level of synchronization if you can. So pelvis and arm move together. We've just made it a little bit harder because you've got to keep that top leg floating and relaxed, but still thinking pelvic floor onto floor 3, and some nice easy breathing. Okay, we're going to do one more of this one. And then I'd like you to go down onto your back, and we're going to do a variation of the shoulder bridge. We'll start off doing a couple of nice easy ones just to get your brain in gear. So check your feet and knees are approximately hip width apart. Nice neutral flat tummy position. For you being on the floor, it's probably easier than me unless you're in your garden as well. And hands onto the floor beside you. Pelvic floor onto floor 3, then you're rolling back, so you imprint your low spine, and then you're peeling up one at a time. Pause at the top. Make sure you relax for a nice breath in, and then breathe out, and come back down one vertebra at a time through your imprint position to neutral. I find it really helpful on the way back down to think about heading straight for that neutral, that imprint position. Helps to focus your brain on where you're going. I'm going to do one more like this. And then come back down again, one vertebra at a time. Think about a string of pearls or bicycle chain. Okay, then find your neutral position. Check your feet and knees are still hip width apart. Then you're taking your arms up, so they are pointing-ish to the ceiling. Then hopefully your hands are somewhere above your shoulders. And now I want you to concentrate on keeping your hands that same shoulder distance apart, but relaxed. As you then again roll back into imprint, peel up one vertebra at a time, pausing at the top, make sure you're still relaxed and breathing, and then you're going to do your legs. So you're going to straighten each leg in turn, trying as best as you can to keep your headlights level, and also keeping your hands still. So how familiar does this sound when you're in the saddle and your hands start to do slightly weird things? You start to realise that you're putting a leg on or concentrating on your legs, and you've lost concentration of what's happening with your hands. This is a really good exercise to do, trying to keep level pelvis, level shoulders. I think my hands are drifting because I'm talking, not concentrating. Use the pelvic floor, and remember to keep breathing. Do one more with each leg. Okay, and then coming back down through each of your vertebrae again, string of pearls, imprint, and then bring your arms back down. We're now going to go onto your other side, and we're going to have a go at the side bend on the other side. So once again, into your capital L position, straight line shoulders, hips to knees, shoulder, elbow underneath shoulder, top arm onto your top side, pelvic floor at the ready, and then that simultaneous lift of arm and pelvis. So we're looking for synchronized movement. When you're thinking about your aids on the horse, so often your timing is key. You really want everything to happen exactly when you say, and that's the same with this exercise. Pelvis and arm ideally going together. Okay, we'll make it a little bit harder. So you're floating that top leg, and then carrying on with that synchronized movement. Still with your pelvic floor. And making sure that you are breathing. Okay, we're going to do two more of this one. Last one. Okay, then we're going to come up into sitting, and we're going to do an exercise called the side twist. And this is an exercise that looks hideously complicated, but it's really not. It's not great if you've got shoulder pain. It may not be the easiest exercise to do, or wrist pain as well, but it's a really, really good exercise for getting your brain in gear. So you need to have your top knee bent, top foot in front of bottom foot, top arm resting onto your top knee, bottom hand far out to the side if you can. You're going to be pushing onto it. So you are going to activate that pelvic floor onto floor 3, and then push, and then come back down. So it's pelvic floor, push, and back down. And again, you're synchronizing the pelvic floor, the push, and that arm. And this really is an exercise of mind over matter. It looks so hard, but it's really not once you've got your brain in gear. One more this way. Okay, and then we're going to do the same thing the other way. So again, you want to have top foot in front of bottom foot, top knee pointing upwards, top arm onto that top knee, then bottom arm just far enough out so you've got something to lean onto, push onto. If it's too far underneath, you haven't got any hope of pushing out onto it. So again, pelvic floor onto floor 3, and then off you go, and back down. You will probably find that one side is easier. That's totally normal. Obviously what you're looking for is to get both sides feeling the same. but some of that is going to be down to strength and some of that is going to be down to handedness. So you just need to keep practicing until both sides feel the same. Again, it's mind over matter, looking for that nice synchronization. You do 2 more this way. Super job. Okay, we're now going to come back up into standing and we're going to finish off with the foot series exercise. We're going to add in the arms, so hopefully I'm going to be able to keep control of what I'm doing because this is really quite a challenge for the brain. So we're going to go straight in with the arms. We're going to go up onto your toes, bend your knees, drop your heels, straighten. Onto your toes, bend your knees, drop your heels, straighten. And you want to be thinking still, keeping shoulders over your headlights, keeping your hands shoulder width apart, keeping your hands light. Okay, a couple more this way. Last one. Okay, then we're going to reverse the movement. Same pattern with the arms though. So you're going to bend your knees, lift your heels, straighten, down. Bend, lift, straighten, down. Bend, lift, straighten, down. Still keeping shoulders over headlights, pelvic floor, onto floor 3. And you also want to be relaxed through your shoulders, keeping your hands still shoulder width apart. Thinking of that nice light contact in your hands. So you want to be thinking that your arms and legs can be busy, but you can still keep, your arms and legs can be busy, but your hands can still be light. A couple more. Okay, and then have a little walk on the spot. Loosen off through your legs, and then just loosen off through your shoulders as well. Because you've been working quite hard. Okay, we are going to leave it there because that's quite a lot for your brain to take on board. Next time we come back to this, it will be the next level up again, some slightly more physically demanding but also more mentally demanding versions of these. So get going with these are so important. I really believe the better you are at multitasking and challenging your brain, the easier it will be when you come to doing those sorts of things on the horse. Best of luck with these and I will see you next time. Take care.